Hello everyone and welcome back to Fly From Home. It's Skiddy back here with another Microsoft Flight Simulator product review, and it's something a little bit different this time. It's not an aircraft, so all of you tuning in to watch me try to fly something that I've got no idea what I'm doing in and probably make an enormous fool out of myself. Unfortunately, that's not going to be the case this time. I'm just loaded into a rather thundery Kissimmee Gateway Airport here in Florida to show off a new little product from Just Flight called Real Taxiways USA by Black Square. And you can see already that some of these taxiway markings and signs are a little bit sharper, a little bit nicer than the default ones that come with Microsoft Flight Simulator. So what we're going to do basically is just have a little taxiing tour around the airport. We're going to do a little taxi route, and I'm going to flash up some pictures on the screen of what the default looks like compared to this add-on, which has fixed not only taxiway signs but has also removed any erroneously placed lights that might be in the middle of the taxiways or signs or all of that sort of stuff. And it's also changed the taxiway markings as well. And it actually does this for every category A, B, C and D, I believe, airport in the United States. So all of the default ones, it replaces all of these things and sharpens everything up quite nicely for you. So I'm going to pop inside and get our parking brake off, and we'll just get our arrow pushed back and started. Thought I'd load up the old faithful Arrow 3 for this little trip around the airport. Every time I fly this plane, it seems to have had some kind of new feature update, so it's looking very sharp now. The textures are certainly have certainly sharpened up since I first reviewed this thing. Very, very cool little aeroplane. Right, very quickly, I'm not going to use a checklist or anything, which is obviously very bad, but well, you know, we're not going flying, so it doesn't matter. Full and free set, and let's prime the engine. So fuel pump on. Fuel is on down here. Fuel flow. Bit of fuel flow, cool. There we go, good start. T's and P's are in the green, oil pressure's in the green, starter warning light out, RPM. Come back to 1200. Fuel pump can come off. We've got the navs, we've got the beacon. I don't think we'll need a GPS today because I really hope we don't get lost on the ground. Right, let's set off, shall we? If you can hear me over the sound of that thunder. Maybe it wasn't the best idea to do this with real-world weather selected, but oh well. So I'm going to try and do this from outside the plane as much as I can to give you the best view of these taxiway markings. And straight away you can see that everything's much neater. Actually looks like it's been painted on the ground rather than kind of jaggedly put into place. Engine run-up area. Yeah, that's about right. I do seem to remember we used to do our engine run-ups there when we were on this runway 06, is it? I forget. Now, as you may have guessed by my accent, I am not from the United States. I'm actually British, but I do have a little bit of a connection to this airport because this is the airport where I did almost all of my PPL training. So my first solo flight, first solo cross-country, PPL skills test, qualifying cross-country, all those sorts of things, I did them from here in a good old PA-28 Warrior. Many, many years ago now, as I am an old, decrepit man by now, as you can probably tell by the fact that I can't string 3 words together most of the time. And we can see these taxiway markings here. Looking good. Taxiway edge markings are different as well. The signs are all different. And apparently they've made sure all the taxiways are named correctly now, so that's going to be a big benefit for all of you guys who fly on VATSIM and IVEO and Pilot Edge and all these other networks that you have covering the United States. See that holding point for runway 2406. Now normally what we do, from what I remember, is we taxi down the inactive runway there if we were going to fly on this one. Thanks, vehicles. So yeah, we can see this is holding point Bravo. We've got taxiway Alpha coming up and down here. FBO pointing over there. I can't remember. And the tower over there, obviously. Can't remember if there was a fancy FBO at Kissimmee or not. I can't quite remember. We started off over besides the hangar where our flying school was based. There were a lot of cool operations at Kissimmee. It was a cool little airport. The Stallion 51, I believe it was called, that operated two-seater P-51 Mustangs. Used to fly out of here. I think they had Texans as well, a couple of Texans. T-6s. And occasionally you'd get business jets and stuff flying in here. They had instrument approaches, well they still do. In fact, they have more instrument approaches now than when I was there, because I think they've got on-av GPS approaches now. So yeah, the taxiway markings on a whole just look a lot neater, and all of these signs, very cool indeed. Cool! Fire engine just sinking into the ground. That's a nice little glitch there. So, yeah, the taxiway markings and signs are pretty much as you'd expect to see them in real life. Now, they may not be an exact facsimile of what's present at the real airport, but they're pretty close. And there is a much wider variety of different signs on the ground here now. So it's cool, it's good to see. There's also lots of new textures and things like that that are added by this little add-on here. Point here, Alpha 2. I don't think it was that one, it was this one, I think. So this is the holding point I was sat on a very, very hot day, waiting to go for my first solo flight. Absolutely wetting myself. Big queue of aircraft as well, training aircraft. I was stuck behind. It was a very popular airfield for flight training. I think it probably still is. Nothing beats that feeling though, of taking off for the first time on your own. Feeling all the extra acceleration for not having a dead weight instructor sat next to you. And then you get onto downwind and you look down at the runway and you think, oh, I guess now it's up to me to land this thing. I always remember one of my instructors was convinced that he could land a Cessna 150 and get it off at that taxiway there. Holding, what is it? Alpha 1? Yeah, Alpha 1. Anyway, so we'll stop here. Parking brake on and set ground idle. So yeah, that's it really. Just a very short video. Just Flight were nice enough to gift us this one for free, and I think it's probably our duty to show it off in as many videos as we can. And this is just a little bit of an intro to it. It comes in 2 packages. One of them is the category A, B, C, and D airports, civilian airports, and another one is the military ones. The civilian ones, I think, are about £27, and the military ones are £13. Now, that might sound like a fair amount of money for a few taxiway signs, but you've got to remember that this is going to change the all of the default airports in Microsoft Flight Simulator in the United States. It's thousands of airports that you're getting a... Oh, Jesus. Calm down, alright? Thousands of airports that you're getting this stuff for. So it's, I think it's pretty cool. But I'll leave it up to you whether you think it's worth it or not. I think it's probably going to depend on how often you fly in the United States. And also how many customized add-on airports you have bought for airports in the United States, because obviously it doesn't really matter about this stuff if you've got an add-on custom airport, because that will add its own signs and taxiways and stuff like that. So I'll leave it up to you whether you think it's worth it or not, but from my point of view I think it's a pretty cool little add-on, and I'm very grateful to Just Flight for letting me try it out. So hopefully we'll see you next time, and we might actually do some flying on the next video. How about that? And take care, and yeah, see you next time.